What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video, my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over a basketball game for Monday, June 13th, 2022. I'm going to show you highlights of each side, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And I wish you guys the best of luck on all your picks today. Let's go ahead and get into the game. We're going to be looking at Game 5, series tied 2-2, Warriors versus the Celtics in the NBA Finals. On this side of the screen is what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. And then on this side of the screen is what I call my game numbers specific to the game. The way that I have it structured here is I keep track of home team win-loss records for the playoffs this season in particular, which means this will be the 86th NBA playoff game this season. I also keep track of the series. The series is tied 2-2, so either one of these two teams can make it 3-2. Right here is the road team, their coach's record, their season playoff record, their season record, their road record, as well as their postseason record as a team all time. In the middle is the head-to-head between the two teams all time, postseason, and for this season in particular. The bottom is the home team, their coach's record, his playoff record, their playoff record as a team for the season, their season record, their home record, and their all-time postseason record as a team. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this. Starting with the home team, I'm going to go over some numbers for the home team to win this game, and then I'm going to go over some numbers for the road team to win this game. I'm going to show you both sides. So starting with the Warriors, if the Warriors were going to win this game, these would be some numbers that would allow them to win this game. So starting off, this is the 3 seed versus the 2 seed, like 32. Whoever wins this game will make the series become 3-2, like 32. However, if Celtics lose, they would get their 302nd postseason loss as a team to go with, which kind of has that 3-2 look to it, the 32 look. The Warriors, they can get their 68th win for the season in the 86th playoff game for this season. 86, 68 are just reflections of each other. And if you write out the number 68, 68 sums to 52, and Warriors can be the team that gives home teams their 52nd win for the playoffs in the 86th playoff game for this season, as Warriors get their 68th win for the season. Today has 41 date numerology on the Gregorian. 41 sums to 98 and 35. Warriors would sit on 35 losses for the season with the win, as their coach gets his 521st all-time win for his career. Mathematics tells us that 5 to 1 is the 98th prime number. Celtics, they would become 14-9 for a playoff record this season with a loss. 149 is the 35th prime number. We also have 25 date numerology on the Gregorian. Written out, 25 sums to 149. And then you have 41 that sums to 35, 149 the 35th prime number. Today has 61 date numerology on the Gregorian as well. If you write out 61, it sums to 41 and 40. This could be where Celtics get that 40th loss for this season. And there is 156 date numerology on the Hebrew religious side of the calendar, 156. And Warriors can become 15-6, like 156, for a playoff record this season with a win. And that's kind of the gist of what I have for the Warriors. If we look ahead to Game 6, it's going to be played on Thursday, the 16th. If Warriors win Game 5, it's a very real possibility that they will also win Game 6. Why? Because if Warriors win Game 5 and become 15-6 for a playoff record this season, well, Game 6 is on June 16th, written 16/6, like 166. And that's what Warriors can become. They could become 16-6 if they win Game 5 and Game 6. And that would be the end of the season right there. It will be a day with 166 date numerology on the Hebrew civil side of the calendar, so just another 166 to go with. On top of that, it'll be the 76th day of the Hebrew religious side. The 76th day, this is the day that the NBA season could end. This is the 76th NBA season. This could be the last game of the NBA season on the 76th day for the 76th season. And if Warriors win game 5, it could set them up to win game 6 to go 16-6 on 16/6 on a day with 166 date numerology for the Hebrew civil calendar. It's also going to be the 17th day of the third month, like 173 for the Hebrew religious side of the calendar. And Warriors, their game 6 is going to be their 371st postseason game all time for their career. 371, 173 is just anagrams of each other. Now, with that being said, this is where it can actually favor the Celtics in a slight chance, because again, if you go with the 16-6, the 166, if Warriors win game 5, it can set them up to become 16-6 for the playoffs. However, with that said, even if Warriors do win game 5, they could still lose game 6 and get their 166th loss postseason all time as a team. In fact, the Warriors could lose game 5 and get their 166th postseason loss all time to head into game 6 on a day with 166 date numerology, the 16th day of June, 16/6. So it's very interchangeable, that 166 number. It could go in favor for the Warriors, or it could go against them with them getting their 166th postseason loss as a team. Now, if we go back to Monday's date numerology, Monday will be a day with 41 date numerology. If Warriors lose this game, they would sit on 41 home wins for the season with a loss, as their coach gets his 35th postseason loss all time for his career. We already know that 41 sums to 35. Also, Celtics, they would get their 66th win for this season, as they give home teams their 35th loss for the playoffs this season. 41 sums to 35, 41 date numerology. If you write out the number 66, 66 sums to 41. It also sums to 149, the 35th prime number. And so that could be a reason why Celtics get that 66th win. They can give home teams their 35th loss for the playoffs this season. Warriors would sit on 41 home wins with a loss. Warriors coach would get his 35th loss postseason all time for his career. The Warriors would become 14-7 for a playoff record this season with the loss in game 5, as they sit on 147 all-time head-to-head wins against the Celtics. I can actually mark that a dark blue. And then we go back to the 3 and 2. This is the 3 seed versus the 2 seed, like 32. Well, this could play in favor for Celtics to get their 32nd road win. This can also play in favor of the Celtics, so they could become 15-8 for a playoff record this season, 158. Well, if you spell out the number 32, it sums to 158. And then 41 date numerology on the Gregorian, 41 sums to 46. Celtics would become 19-9 head-to-head against the Warriors postseason with a win. And 19-9, not 1993, but 19-9 is the 46th prime number. So game 5 isn't any easier, that's for sure. If you're hoping these games get easier, they don't. I've been struggling in these games. I'm straight up 50-50. Okay, so to me, these are just 50-50 games. My results are 50-50. So just is what it is, you know. But hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives you insight to both sides. You can make a case for the Warriors to win the next 2 games. You can make the case for the Warriors to lose this game and win game 6, or vice versa, win this game and lose game 6. You can make a case for Celtics to win this game. If Celtics were to win this game and it goes on to game 6 on the 16th, what can help out? One thing that can help out is if Warriors lose and they become 14-7 for a playoff record, sitting on 147 all-time head-to-head wins against Celtics. Well, Game 6 will be a day with 64 date numerology. 64 sums to 157. It could become 157 on Thursday, potentially. And 167, the 39th prime number. So game 6 is going to be played on the 167th day of the Gregorian calendar, the 39th prime number. Celtics can head into that game sitting on 39 losses. And speaking of the 157 is the 37th prime number. If Warriors lose game 5, they would get their 36th loss for the season, which could set them up to lose game 6 to get their 37th loss for the season. 157, the 37th prime number. There's definitely different ways you can play with this. These games aren't easy by any means. If anyone's telling you that this is a walk in the park, they're lying through their teeth. They're lying. They're just straight lying. All they're doing is seeking validation and attention. Don't give them any validation or attention. Anybody who says these games are a walk in the park, they're doing nothing but seeking validation and attention from other people. Don't give it to them. They're lying through their teeth. These games are hard. I've done over 3,500 games in a 2-year span publicly, and it's still hard for me. It's still a hard thing to do. This isn't easy. It doesn't get easier with time. You start to get more familiar with the numbers over time. You start to see the connections a little bit better over time. You start to know what number patterns tend to go together over time. But at the same time, you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be 100%. And it's not going to get any easier. You're just going to get more familiar with the numbers. But the decision-making process of deciding who you're going to take is still going to have to require you to, spend that energy of critical thinking and just doing your due diligence and, looking on past things to see if it makes sense. And sometimes it's just a simple, lucky guess. It could just be a simple lucky guess, But hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives you insight to the game, gets you started on a decode, adds to a decode you already have. I really wish you guys the best of luck on all your picks. Hopefully you win all the money in the world. And I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the support.